99X and the Morning X. Barnes and Leslie about to bring on Jon Cryer. Talk about a dude that has worked a lot.
It's unbelievable if you really think about it. Everyone from like Lex Luthor, right, to he was in the classic Pretty in Pink, not to mention 2.5 Men. The list goes on and on.
Yeah. Homeboy's getting paid for sure. I can't imagine his mailbox money. He's been on every show you can think of, like from NCIS and all those in his early days doing guest stars and stuff. So I wanted to play a clip going into it that I thought was really clever from 2.5 Men, where they talk about and they work in one of his previous characters.
Who the hell are you supposed to be?
You never saw Pretty in Pink?
Oh, right. You're Molly Ringwald.
I'm Ducky. You know, the best friend, the scene stealer. Some would say the true star of the film.
Who played him? Boy George? Hey, what do you think about zombie Elvis, baby? And don't be cruel.
It's great. You look like both the impersonator at my wedding and my ex-wife.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What decays in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Oh, hey, did your friend Stacy say anything about the girl she's bringing for me?
Oh, just that she's supposed to be really cute, and she just moved out here after a tough breakup.
Ooh, lonely and damaged. Ducky's getting lucky.
You know, if Ducky really wants to get lucky, he'll tell the girls that he's someone that people remember, like Ferris Bueller.
Please welcome Jon Cryer to the show. Hey, Jon.
Hi, Jon.
Hey, how's it going?
You know, it's been so many years. You've been on our show, like all through the 90s and the 2000s. So I thought it would be great to open with an icebreaker.
Oh, boy. I have no idea what is coming up here.
Okay.
I want to play you from our show 25 years ago, and then I'm going to ask you the same question.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
But I think it's very easy. Here, let's go back 25 years to a young Jon Cryer on the Morning X. What kind of life are you living there in Hollywood? You living in L.A., an apartment? Is it still the one little small apartment you have?
I still live in an apartment in L.A., even regardless of, earthquakes and stuff like that. I live on the 11th floor, which people say, what? We have earthquakes here. And I'm like, I am aware that we have earthquakes here.
What are you, down on Wilshire, down in, like, West L.A.?
I am in the Miracle Mile area.
Okay.
Any neighbors we would know?
Getty Watanabe from Gung Ho.
Who?
He
was Long Duck Dong in 16 Candles.
In 16 Candles.
And check this. This is the big one, though. This is the big one. Clarence Williams III. Link from the Mod Squad.
Oh,
my God.
He is my neighbor.
What's he doing now?
Well, I see him jogging with this very bitter, angry expression on his face.
So, not a lot, I guess.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
okay, we're back. Now, Jon, refresh yourself.
Yes.
We need to update your file. Where do you live now?
I'm no longer in an apartment. I do have a house.
And any neighbors that we should know about?
Any neighbors? Clayton Kershaw, a young man, lovely young man who throws a baseball around every now and then. A neighbor, lovely neighbor, Joe McHale.
Really?
Yes, it's a fun neighborhood. We're fun people and very tall. I'm the shortest between the three of us.
That is funny. So, I mean, those two guys, one of them has passed away, sadly. And the other one...
you're talking about Chris Williams?
Yes. Like 2 years ago.
Wait, what happened to Clayton Kershaw? You're scaring me. Don't scare me.
No, you're old neighbors. So we'll check back in 25 years and update your file again. It's like your insurance when you come on here.
Yes, thank you. It's insurance, but fun.
I know you have this new show where you play a divorced dad, and you recently, I saw an article, gave some advice about raising children and, quote, letting go. What have you learned about raising your kids?
What I've learned about raising kids is that they are their own souls. You're just basically a shepherd. Basically, they come into the world and you sort of set up a couple of guardrails and then just let them loose because, thinking that you're going to create, these children will be my legacy. I will create wonderful human beings. But let go of that. Let go of that because they're going to be who they are. And that's really the joy that you will find in being a parent is seeing them become who they are.
Well, I know you play a divorced dad in Extended Family, so what drew you to that show? It's a pretty unique concept for Hollywood.
Well, what I loved about the concept of the show was that it was a divorce that was really amicable, which was like my parents' own divorce. My parents, really understood when they were apart that being apart was way better for them, and having gotten together and made kids, was also a great part in their life, but that, that couldn't stay the way that it was. And so really it was about people finding the next phase, even though, when things are hard, finding the good part of it, finding the upside of it, and actually the show is loosely based on loosely inspired by the real life owner of the Boston Celtics, who he and his wife share an apartment with her ex-husband.
Oh, wow.
Where the kids still live. Yeah. And the parents go back and forth. Obviously this is not a situation for everybody, but just it's a different way to think about it, and hopefully when people are divorcing, they have a bunch of possibilities in front of them.
We're talking with Jon Cryer. Extended Family, by the way, is Tuesday nights on NBC and then also streaming on Peacock. And I want to go back to the apartment question, John. When you were in Hollywood, you've had such a great career and you've had so many victories. When was the line where you might have been thinking, you know what, this just isn't for me? Like at what point in your career, and then what did you get that completely just light switch went off and changed your attitude about the whole business?
The light switch moment was definitely 2.5 Men. Although it's interesting because what had happened was I had done a bunch of series that actually got on the air but then failed. And actually that's almost worse in Hollywood than doing a series that you shoot a pilot and it just disappears. When you get on the air and then you fail, you're perceived as like, oh, you blew it. You had your shot and you blew it. So I had done a show called Partners for Fox and another one called Getting Personal for Fox, and the Famous Study Z for CBS, and they had all flopped. So I was considered sort of, an expended cartridge, so I spent a few years in the wilderness where nobody would really hire me anymore. And I was like, wow, okay, that's how this business is. Wow, this is tough. And then I auditioned for Battlestar Galactica.
Really?
The reboot of Battlestar Galactica. To play Gaius Baltar. And then I auditioned for Alan the next day. And they both offered me things called test deals, which is basically the network is saying, if you come in and you ace this next audition, we're going to pre-negotiate your contract so you're in, and they both offered it to me on the same day.
Oh, wow.
But auditioned one day before Battlestar Galactica. So it was one of those things where if I agreed, it was a crazy sort of catch-22 situation where I was really walking a tightrope because one of them had to go away, and I chose 2.5 Men, and thank goodness I got it.
That's unbelievable.
I didn't know that story.
Yeah. And the thing was, Battlestar Galactica ended up being one of the all-time great science fiction series. I mean, but I have a feeling it would have been a different vibe on that show if I was on it. I don't know how that would have worked out.
I think you got a pretty sweet situation. I want to ask you one awkward question now. When you were on the show and they replaced Sheen and they brought in Kutcher, did I read correctly that you used to date or had dated Demi Moore?
Yes.
Ouch.
It was awkward. I did a movie called No Small Affair. It was my second movie. And Demi and I dated. And I got nothing but good feelings about her. Obviously it didn't work out. And actually it was very funny because in her biography that she put out recently, which is an excellent read if you get a chance, she mentions that she took my virginity, and I was like,
"Hello."
But it wasn't true. It wasn't true. I was like, "Oh my God, how did I get the impression that she was taking my virginity?" And I realized it was by virtue of my ineptitude at sex. I was so bad at it. She figured this must be his first time.
That is phenomenal to read in the book that Demi Moore took your virginity and she didn't.
No, I know. It was a surreal experience. I was like, oh, okay. And the funny thing was, she felt kind of bad about it. She felt like, it should have been a more meaningful relationship between the two of us. And I was like, no, it was just meaningful enough. To me, it was absolutely fine. Nobody regrets this.
That is funny. Awesome. Well, I want to end with a scene from your show and invite people to watch Tuesday nights on NBC. Jon Cryer, it's great to catch up. We'll chat in 25 years.
Thank you, John.
Yes, absolutely. That's a good interval.
One more time. All right, extended family, check it out. This is Jon Cryer. This is 99X.
Julia. Hey.
Jim, are you here for Sunday brunch?
Nope, I'm here to see you.
What? How did you know I was here?
I mean, how? Duh.
Duh, what? What am I looking at?
Family sharing. That blinking green dot, that's you.
You're tracking me?
No, I don't have to track you. You're sharing your location with me. I just have to look at my phone. Again, the blinking green dot.
I know what the blinking dot is, Jim.
Okay.
But tracking me is not the intended use of that application.
It's entirely the intended use of that application.
The Morning X with Burns and Leslie.